Hi, welcome back. I'm Wayne Purser, a local realtor with Coldwell Banker Bain Real Estate, downtown Edmonds, just footsteps from the fountain. This month on Spotlight on Edmonds Real Estate Show, we're going to have a special guest, good friend of mine, Tom Nash from Pacific Northwest Real Estate Holdings. We're also going to talk about the weather report, local Snohomish County, Edmonds and Shoreline weather report, and then we'll close with a question from a person on the street. At this time, I'd like to introduce my guest, Tom Nash from Pacific Northwest Real Estate Holdings. Welcome.
Yes, thanks for having me
Great,
here, Wayne.
great.
Appreciate it.
As a realtor, as I share with my clientels, condominiums and townhomes, property management, dues, board of directors. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you protect the building or the association.
Well, that's a loaded question there, Wayne. I do quite a bit. I work with the board. I take my marching orders from the board. I go ahead and work with the board as far as accomplishing tasks, looking at their budget, meeting with vendors to make sure that if we're negotiating a contract that everything's in place.
Yeah, so with that, also the dues, people say, well, sometimes the dues are so expensive. What has changed over the years?
Yeah, quite a bit's changed over the years. One of the things in the state of Washington is it's mandated by the state of Washington to have a reserve study. You have to have that done every 3 years, and it has to be updated on an annual basis. It's actually something in place to help out an association. You have to go ahead and put in 10% of your total operating budget. So if the budget is $300,000, then you need to have 10% that you would allocate toward the reserves. And the reserves is there for reserve components, things such as asphalt, the roofing, siding. You need to make sure that you have ample money in place so that when you do a project, it's there in your reserve account.
Mm-hmm. I know that was something new, that with the meltdown of the economy back in the real estate bursting of the bubble, is that the lenders are now requiring that also to be on the statements. And how has that been received by your property management?
That's correct. Well, part of our budgeting is that we go ahead and allocate that 10%. I have taken on new associations from a prior property management company, and they did not allocate 10% toward the reserves. And so what happens here is that you have a lender, they see this, the association has not met that 10%, and so what they will do is they'll go back to the property manager and or the board and ask for an updated budget. That can be very time consuming. You have to have a quorum, so that's one of those things you want to have done correctly up front. And so we make sure that's taken care of when we go ahead and do annual budgets.
Right, and if it's not done that way, then you'll have what, a special assessment?
We'll have to have a special meeting, potentially. We have to go ahead and look at as far as making sure that we have a budget that the board accepts and that the association will ratify. So again, that's not something that just, if it's wrong this week, you get it taken care of next week. It takes some time. So again, it needs to be done correctly in the first place.
Right. As when I represent buyers or even sellers also, because sellers have to get what's the resale certificate that has all
Correct.
the financial information. How long does it normally take to get what's called a resale certificate, all the financials?
So you need to have it taken care of in 10 business days. We do have rush orders, usually for our associations. They're done within a business week, but we do like to have that 10 days in case something happens.
Right. So on that, if I had a buyer and they wanted to know about purchasing a condo or townhome, what would be like 3 things you would advise a buyer?
Well, I would advise the buyer to do their homework. And part of the homework is looking at the association's documentation. I would look to make sure that they have the association's minutes. I would look to make sure that they have the budget, the current year budget, and also have a reserve study. So as I was talking about before, the reserve study is something that will help a potential buyer determine as far as is the association under or overfunded in the reserves. If they're underfunded, then there's a strong probability that the buyer will have to look at a special assessment, a dues increase, or a combination of the two. The budget lets you know as far as if the association has ample funds for that particular year, and the minutes will let you know as far as if there's anything coming down the pike, as far as if there's going to be a special assessment, if there's a board member that's going to get kicked out. Again, those are 3 things that I would encourage a potential buyer to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of things for buyers to look at, because they look at whether you own a home or a condominium or townhome, you still have expenses. The nice thing that I have as a realtor has learned with property management people that know what they're doing, that they look at it, that they have reserves built up, and they're looking for the future and not looking to raise debt to the people who currently own it.
Right.
So it's long-term with that planning. So, any other closing comments?
No, I think that, I think more and more people are going to start be looking at purchasing associations. People want to live on their own. They want to have a smaller home. So for a lot of people, condominiums is a great match for them. You have the board and the property manager that take care of all the operating expenditures over there. So it's not like you have to come home and do the landscaping or paint the exterior. That's already done. So for a lot of people that just want to enjoy their home, they can do that through an association and not have to worry about all those things that go along with home ownership.
Right. Well, thank you, Tom, for being a special guest this week. Again, Tom Nash with Pacific Northwest Real Estate Holdings. Welcome back to Spotlight on Edmonds Real Estate Weather Report. Last month in August, current sales were 48 for the month of August. Current listings at 50 with a real estate weather report of 96 degrees. 14 days or less is what the market time, so if you're pricing the property correctly, it will sell within 14 days. Listings are neutral from a year ago, but sales are up, and interest rates are just going to be flat for the time being. Edmonds, 98026 in the 026 area, had currently 76 sales with 104 listings. Gives us a weather report of about 76 degrees. Closer to 45 days is where we're at out in Edmonds, 98026. Listings are flat, but sales are up from a year ago. South Snohomish County, Linwood, Muckle-Teal, Briar, Mount Lake Terrace, and Mill Creek have sales of 290 units were sold with 423 listings. As I mentioned last month, the big change was more listings in the outer area of South Snohomish County. Weather report about 70 degrees, so they're about 45, 60 days right now. So a little bit more time for buyers to pick a home and not feel a high pressure of multiple offers. Also in Shoreline, 115 sold properties with only 79 listings. Again, they're getting rid of their backlog. What they had, more sales, less listings, means prices are going to be going up. Market times are very, very short. Weather degree over 100 degrees. It's hot in Shoreline. Strong demand is what they have. The market will continue with the feds not raising interest rates, so therefore buyers will still be out there looking for great values and wanting to move on with their lives. Also, people that may want to sell and move up, or a change in life may be happening where they want to downsize. So get ready for the fall rush. We just started here 2 weeks ago, second busiest selling season between now and Thanksgiving, but don't be surprised if things don't change through the holiday season because of interest rates and strong demand. That's it for the real estate weather report. We're going to go on now to the question from the person on the street.
Hey Wayne, real estate's cruising along right now, but when do you think we might see the bubble?
All right, that's a great question regarding the bubble. From what I'm looking at, with the interest rates going down because of the presidential election coming up, we're looking at late 2017 into 2018 for the bubble. So if you're looking to hang on to a property before you sell it and the market goes up, watch what's happening. But 2018, you may see a change. Great question. That wraps up our edition for this month. We look forward to seeing you next month on Spotlight on Edmonds Real Estate.